This is Linda Ferguson,
And Karen Nelson Bell.
and welcome to another episode of Platinum Prime for Life, the show that shows you tips and tricks and problems to overcome on living your best Platinum Prime life. Hey, Karen, how do you like the weather?
I like it just fine. You know what? I'm happy. It's weather, and it's not a hurricane. It's not a tornado. It's not an earthquake. So, what's to not like?
So true. Well, this week we are talking about something that is near and dear to me. It's actually not dear, but it is near to me because it's something I've actually had to address many times this week, which has been somewhat of a challenging week for me in areas of business and relying on another's technical expertise to help me overcome some serious problems I'm having. That is the subject of asking for help. So it's, when is it a good time to ask for help? When should you just keep your mouth shut and not ask for help? And all those things in between. All right.
It's funny that your week is applicable to this topic, and my week is applicable to this topic. We don't always like talk ahead of time what we're going to talk about. And she sprang this on me like 5 minutes ago, and I'm like, perfect, perfect for this week. Absolutely perfection.
We must have stories to share. And
I think we have some kind of radar.
so here's what we're going to cover in this episode, and that is why asking for help is actually a strength and not a weakness. And I'm really going to attest to that. When you know when to ask for help, you're actually showing a strength. And then how, when you do ask for help, it actually improves relationships and bonds. So that's kind of interesting. The power of vulnerability. So when you admit that you need help, that you're not perfect, that makes you vulnerable, but it actually creates a very positive environment for others that are in your life. How collaboration fuels progress. And the other thing is lots of real life examples from the last week from both Karen and I, which I have no idea what she needed to ask for help on, but hey.
Well, I have an observation I'd like to make, and that is that a lot of the people I know love helping. I know a lot of really wonderful, kind, generous spirited, volunteer minded people who love to help. They love helping,
Mm-hmm.
but it's out of balance. And I think a lot of times, and I have not been a mom, and you've been a mom, but I observe that moms are helpers. They have to be. That's part of the job description, I would assume. And I see that they have this wonderful help flow outwards, but are not only unable to ask for help, but unable to accept help. And sometimes the helpers of the planet are the least likely to be recipients of that same kind of help. And I just find that to be an odd observation, and it doesn't really fit in with what we're talking about, because we're talking about how it would be great to ask. But do you observe that same thing? Do you find that it's out of balance in many people? And particularly women?
Absolutely. It is definitely something we're going to ask about. And here's a quote from, this is Stanford social psychologist. I do not know what a social psychologist does, but the quote's really good. His name is Juan, Xuan Zhao, Zhao. Asking for help is hard, but others want to help more often than we often give them credit for. People underestimate how willing folks are to lend a hand or how happy it makes them feel. So,
That's an interesting point. It does. That's You're doing them a favor by you're doing a favor by asking somebody for help because it'll make them feel good.
totally. So, some of the other things that happen when you ask for help is you're admitting you have limitations and you're willing to be vulnerable. and it makes you more real. And I've observed that. I've observed, especially people who have a position of power, or people that, it looks like they have a perfect life, and then they admit that they have an area that they're vulnerable in, that they need help in. And very often, who was I looking at? I was looking at a video of Valerie Bertinelli, who, if you don't know who she was a child actress who grew up, and we watched her pretty much on screen, and then she wound up marrying Eddie Van Halen, the lead guitarist and singer from Van Halen, he had a rock star life, and they got divorced, and then she was on different shows, and she pretty much now does these shorts where she shows up. I think she's like 65-ish now, but she has no makeup. She looks like hell. She sits there and she says, I've had the worst week ever. And she looks horrible. And she just looks sad. And then she says, maybe I'm going to eat something to handle this hard week I've had. And not that I admire her for it, but she's actually gaining a lot of attention for being so vulnerable, for so admitting that she needs help. It's not my particular cup of tea, but it shows that there's a huge cadre of people who jump to her defense because they like that vulnerability. It's made her much more real than a Hollywood star, starlet, or whatever. So, more real when we ask for help. Well, sometimes I don't feel more real. I feel horrible when I ask for help. So we're going to actually get into how does asking for help make you feel, and then some tips for how you should do it. So let me ask you, Karen, how do you feel when you have to ask for help?
I don't fit the profile. I feel okay to ask for help, to be honest. I gotta be honest. I don't know where it changed in my life. I don't know where I became. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I'm okay to ask for help. In fact, I had to ask for help several times. That's what made me think of it. And one of the help I needed help with a person who doesn't want to ask for help or can't receive it. And it's just funny to me. So I don't have a story about me not asking for help. I am pretty ready, and I have several. You've witnessed it. I ask you for help. I do, right? And I ask. We have another mutual friend that I go to, and she's kind of my sounding board. You have friends in life who are your sounding boards, where you can say anything or be anything or be miserable. I called her 2 days ago, and I said, I'm really in over my head here. I need some help, and I said, I need you to make me more positive, because I just couldn't make my own self become, people say to you, think positive. Well, that's all well and good. Yes, think positive is a good idea. You should, but sometimes you can't. that's the crux of the matter, is sometimes you have baggage that keeps you from thinking positive. And so I said to her, help, I can't figure this particular situation out. I need your help to make me more positive. and she had words of wisdom, and of course it all ended up being me. And I have a quote, it's just a quote I've loved for a long time, and it says, if nothing happens, nothing happens.
If nothing happens, okay, so how do you apply that? If nothing happens, you mean if you don't make something happen, then nothing happens?
If nothing happens, nothing happens. I just like the way it's expressed. It could be expressed another way. You could say, for something to happen, you have to, for there to be a change, you need to change. For things to happen, you need to make it happen.
Okay, good. I just confuse it, like if you're waiting for a problem and the problem didn't happen, then nothing happened. But so yours is a positive. You're creating a change.
Yeah,
you are creating it.
But I couldn't do it on my own, and so I did reach out for help. And you've seen me. So I don't fit this profile of somebody who can't ask for help. I can, and I will, and I might ask you for help, and I might ask one. In fact, I might ask my entire friendships, because I actually feel like I'm on Facebook more than I am on the other platforms,
Mhm.
and I actually feel like I have friends there. That's probably not true. It's probably there's probably haters. I've never had anybody be a hater to me, and I hope never to have one. But I have this idea that I have actual friends, and I occasionally will reach out to those friends and say, "I need help. What do you think I should do?" And so maybe somewhere along the way I switched and I could just start asking for help. I don't know. I don't know why it is. What is it that, well, I would ask you this? What is it that stops people? Oh, you're saying it's the vulnerability, afraid to be vulnerable of being wrong. Or
Um,
I'm wrong.
yeah, why it
I have.
feels hard. Why does it feel hard to ask for help? So a lot of people
Oh,
have,
I ask you the same question you asked me.
why does it feel hard? No, I'm just going to give a statement following that statement. Why
Okay.
does it feel hard? So for a lot of people, it's the position they see themselves in, right? So they see themselves as having all the answers. They should have all the answers. They should know how to do it. They should be able to figure it out. They should not have to ask for help. They should just be able to use their smarts and figure it out. And for the most part, that's probably true. Many people can, figure their way out of a box, right? But here's what I encounter: the feelings that come with having something you should be asking for help with. Maybe you already have paid for help, you have resources that you already have available, but you're just not using them because you feel like, I should be able to figure this out. Adds so much time to getting to the end result you're going for. And there's, for me personally, this feeling of just like swirling. Okay, I can figure it out, but what direction do I start? Give me a direction. That's what I want. I want a direction.
So,
Um,
are you talking about like help in setting up an IKEA bookshelf, or operating a new app or something like that, where it's a matter of you can't do something that you wanted to do?
it could be anything. I happen to live online a lot. A lot of my work is just straight up online work. So I will give you the story that is most recent. I'm actually right in the middle of figuring it out. That is, I'm in a business with a business partner he has very good clarity on advertising, what he wants to see in ads, and so on. And his knee jerk is just to pay someone to make it go away, pay someone to fix it and do it. And so he's signed up for many, many things that cost lots and lots and lots of money, that require that he do certain things to just get ready to ask for help or educate himself to get to ask for help. And it's too much. The velocity of his life is just hurtling at such a speed that he needs to turn it over. So the turnover actually comes to me, and that's fine because I'm really good at problem solving. So we're running a campaign, an ad campaign, in a way that I've not done it before. He knows the result. I'm tasked with executing it, and it's the first time I've had to do this particular thing. I don't know how to do it. So I look online, I look at the instructions. It has no clarity because it's actually really complicated to set up all the moving parts. So I turn to a wonderful girlfriend who's been a bestie of mine for decades now, who this is what she does for a living. And I say, hey, I need some help. And she says, no problem. She gets in and gives me some advice, which was helpful. It wasn't the solution, but it was helpful. And then I said, we are paying, to my business partner, we're paying for this service and they should be helping us. Long story short is, jumped on a call. Some woman had just shared her screen and walked through all the steps needed to set up this advertising campaign in the way that he wanted it done, which was great. I was so excited. I was like, oh yeah, it's done. It's up. The ads are approved. It's running, and it's costing us a bunch of money, and there are spammers on there now, like running up our bill. So I went in to look at things this morning, and there's a video involved, and it's not running properly, and there's just problems, and stuff started breaking, and I go, oh my gosh, I'm still in the middle of this problem. So am I asking for help? You better believe it. And that was actually good. The difference between being in the middle of needing to ask for help and trying to figure it out, and then knowing there was someone there who knew what the hell they were doing to help me, that I could communicate to at any time, was wonderful. And I slept really well last night. So hopefully I will sleep well again tonight, because it will be all solved.
That's interesting. You know what, Linda? I'll take back all that I said about me asking for help, because I'm inclined, when it comes to things like what you just described, I'm inclined to figure it out, and I'll persevere much longer than I need to sort it out, because I think, you are a genuine tech goddess, and I'm a tech lady in waiting, or some I don't know, I'm a wannabe, and I want to be so bad that I'll just hang in there and try to do everything and figure everything out myself. So I confess, yeah, I'm in that kind of a situation. It takes quite a change for me to reach out and say, help, I can't do this by myself.
Exactly. Well, I am fortunate in my life to have a wonderful husband who does, many times, all he does is acknowledge me. I will just go, blah, 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 blah. And with that distance, that's someone in my life that I can reach out for help to. Things get simplified, and very often I already know what to do. But again, it's that confusion of, you need something done, and maybe there are many things going on in your life simultaneously, and you actually do need help. So reaching out for help, maybe receiving it may be as simple as someone just listening to you and then acknowledging you properly.
Yeah.
Maybe all you need.
Yeah. That's what friends are for.
Exactly. So what we've actually talked about today really is, are you stronger to keep it to yourself, or are you stronger to ask for help when you need it? And the answer is, you show real strength when you ask for help. It does so many things, but one of the things it really does is it makes someone else feel important in your life. They're important enough for you to have asked them for help.
That's true. It's true. It's a wonderful feeling when somebody entrusts you with their struggles.
Yeah, the bond just strengthens.
Yeah, it's a compliment to the friendship or the relationship.
I've seen that with you. This is just my observation. Karen's wonderful at asking for help. She just does it on Facebook a lot. Hey guys, I need some help. Do you like this hat better or that one? Hey guys, I need some help. Do you think I should organize this way or that way? But you are not shy for asking for help, which is very cool, because it creates a lot of engagement.
Well,
now,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm going to flip things around a little bit. And we're talking about asking for help, but how about, we talked about this in another episode, which is offering to help someone else. So if there's strength in asking for help, what happens when you see someone who needs help?
I actually had a thought yesterday about this subject, this very subject. Is you're just prescient. You know what the word prescient means? You know something before it happens. Like omniscient is you know everything. Prescient, you know something that's going to
That's
happen in
good.
the future. It's like you're prescient about my life. I don't know how you manage
Mm,
that, but I have several friends who have challenges in life, and they might be lonely. They might not feel that they have any friends. They might have a scarcity of conversations. They don't have human contact. They're isolated. And it occurred to me that the best solution for any of those ills is to find somebody to help. You could say to that person, well, go and make a friend.
mm-hmm.
Well, fine. How do you make a friend? Well, you have to be around some people somewhere. You do have to put yourself in an environment where there are other human beings. But I think that the fundamental thing is to offer help because because I can't take you any further than that's what I have a firm conviction that that's the best antidote for what ails a person. And I don't have any proof. I don't have any statistics. I just have a deep conviction and a knowingness that helping somebody else is the best way to cure what ails you.
I agree with you.
Do you?
Absolutely. I think that value to mankind starts with your willingness to help others, and the solutions you provide are solutions that are designed to help more than hinder other people. So, with
Uh,
that sort of, yeah,
Well, there are programs, aren't there? There's like programs for seniors to be if you were a business person, you can be a business advisor to young business owners and give them. There's all kinds of programs. Big Sister, Big Brother are programs like that. You don't have to have a skill. You just have to have a kind heart, a generosity of spirit. There's all kinds of ways to find somebody to help. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you could just go to your church and say, "Who needs help?" Guaranteed,
absolutely.
we would be glad to have your help.
Or a neighbor.
A
All right, we
neighbor,
could actually just dive into this subject in a very big way because we're doing flip sides, right?
right?
When it's hard to ask for help, and then there are other times when people, that's all they do. They're the beggars by the side of the road. They're they're really playing on things,
Oh,
playing
beggars.
on your, oh, right. I'm needy, I'm needy, I need help, I need help, you need to help me, you've got to help me. But that is an entirely different subject. Right now, we're going to give you a handout. It's called the Help Hustle Cheat Sheet.
The what?
The Help Hustle Cheat Sheet.
Help hustle, cheat sheet.
And basically, it just helps you identify three areas of your life where things aren't moving as quickly as possible. They're either long term help, could be like losing weight. Karen is very familiar with that one. Getting good sleep, but which, by the way, you sent me a tip. It was interesting. I tried it and it seemed to help. So thank you so much for that. You offered help because I struggle with that sometimes. Um, so it's, when do you ask for help? Who do you ask for help? And then when do you offer it? And the flip side is, when do you not ask for help? When do you not offer help, right? Those are just decision points for you. We're not going to answer the last part, when do you not ask for help and when do you not offer help, except to say, if you keep in your mindset that one, life is not forever as far as things go right now. There is a point where these bodies are not going to continue. So The older I get, the more that sense of getting the major things in my life done and stable and in place just sit on my shoulders, right? So there's that sense of urgency. Let's get it done. And then the second thing is ask for help when things are going too slow for you, and offer help when you know you actually have something to offer and you're not just going off track because you're bored, or you can't confront your own futures well enough, so you're just going to run around and help others and not take care of yourself. All right, that's my 10 cents, and Karen's got 10 cents to add too.
I actually have a question for you, and it's going to be a bit of a diversion because I think we're getting ready to wrap up. I know we like to stay under a half hour, but this happened to me yesterday, and I want to know how you feel when somebody is standing outside your grocery store and they ask you if you could spare some change, spare some money. How do you respond?
I almost never give them money because they're choosing to beg rather than choosing to produce an actual result in life. Their lifestyle choices have led them to this is the solution for making a living. And then what are they going to do with that living? Well, whatever their choices are, which very often are choices that probably aren't healthy choices for sustaining any kind of life, it's not something I want to support. So I watch people give guys money all the time, and God bless them. It makes them feel better. It makes them feel like they're helping. Prefer to give someone advice that doesn't get used up, like that quarter or dollar or $20 you give them very often is going to be used to purchase something that's not healthy for them. So then it's used up, then they have to repeat the same successful action to get it. I don't like to enable that. So
thank you for telling me how you view it, because how you view it is how I view it. And we always think when people agree with us that we think that person's really smart. I think you're very smart.
I think it is really, we try to take actions to lift up mankind, and enabling something like that so that the person just sinks further and further into their need to beg and destroy themselves. It's when almost always it's not an honest need, and there are other ways that they can turn to for solutions.
Definitely.
It doesn't help anyone.
No, it doesn't. I had a guy ask for money, and so I said I don't have any money, but how about food? And he said yes. And I gave him an apple, and I drove off, and I saw him throw the apple away, and it pissed me off. It kind of stopped me from ever wanting to help again. That one man soured me on helping people.
He says yes because that's the right thing to say when you're begging, but you're right. Almost always they need alcohol or cigarettes or whatever they need. They don't really want to eat. Yeah.
Especially not an apple. Potato chips.
Yeah, I know. That's super sad. All right. So
now it's your response. I'm asking you to help bring us back up to being happy about everything, because that was like I'm sorry, I brought you kind of a depressing little anecdote there, which
no. I mean, it's a true circumstance that people see all the time. But when you reward that and you get more of it, you just have areas where then people start screaming that they need help handling it. Now it's gotten out of control, and it's only because that's what you've rewarded. You've rewarded people begging and knowing that they'll get the result that they're searching for. So people that are in that clique go, hey, this area is really good for it, and you start attracting the things you absolutely are trying to circumvent to help them. So there are better ways to help, and it's not hard to find those better ways. So just look around.
And read the helpful helpers hustle handbook.
which
You're
is on you
living.
identifying your areas in life where you should be asking for help. You're not asking for help. So it's which one of those are you going to ask for help, and how or who are you going to ask for help from?
I like
Really,
that.
really important. Like, I need help. And then it's all, ugh. But you go, I need help. Who can I ask? Who knows what I need to know? Or where can I turn to for help? And actually, ChatGPT, gotta say, whether you like it or you don't like it, if you haven't tried it, it is an amazing resource for direct help or getting suggestions for where to find the help that you need. So, gonna
I
say
think
that.
I think my first go to is you. I'm coming to you for help first every time, and I suggest that you and I have a podcast where we interview a Chat GPT.
That'd be fun.
Maybe,
Do you have voice turned on your ChatGPT?
yeah,
You
you
do.
can turn it on and off, and I've done a couple of posts where I've had Chad. My guy's name is Chadwick, and, and I've had him on, and he's very pleasantly social and ready and willing and able to be on our posts. So
You mean
so
ass kissing? Oh my gosh,
yeah.
ChatGPT is just ass kissing. That's all I gotta say. But it's pleasant. It's definitely pleasant. It's like, oh, well, would you like this? Would you like that? Yeah, no sass. I guess you can build in an attitude there. All right. Now, this week, ask for help when you need it. Download our cheat sheet on how to do it if you need that inspiration. And go out and live a platinum prime life this week. And we will see you in 1 week. Take care, everyone.
Bye bye,
Bye.
everybody.